Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon, Atlanta Man Bain, coming to you live from Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, right here in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Welcome y'all to another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting, y'all. Man, we got a great show scheduled out tonight. Got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Got new racetracks coming up. We got all kinds of drama from last week at Dover, and a lot of things to get into, man. So, hey, if you guys are out there, as you know, we always start the show out, word of the day. So, last week's word of the day was Monster Mile. Every time I said that, if you play along, you take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. If you're under 21, you just take a sip of whatever's got a lot of sugar in it, and that way you stay up real late and give your mom and dad a little bit of fun as well. So, hey, today's word of the day is going to be somewhere right up here. Lawrence is going to put it up. As I said, every time that I say it during the show, you're going to take a sip, and we'll see where we end up. I have no idea what the word is. I find out whenever I watch on YouTube. So it's very interesting, and Lawrence does a great job with it. So if you guys are playing along, keep playing along, y'all. Getting right into it, a little bit of NASCAR news, man. I mean, hey, we just made some history this last week at Dover for the first time ever. Hendrick Motorsports finished 1, 2, 3, 4. So Bowman, Byron, Elliott, I mean, all bringing home great finishes, man. Kyle Larson finishing in that top 4. Got a lot, get into a little bit more about that here in a little while, man. But I tell you what, made a piece of history right there. So, new track, new act, man. Coming up this Sunday, we're getting ready to see something there again that we've never seen. Seems like this year of all seasons to be filled with first, as well as last year's season the first. So, it's going to be different watching them run the Circuit of the Americas here coming up this Sunday. A few limited guys have been on the actual track. Obviously, simulation racing is going to play a big part. Got the Pro Invitational tonight as well. But at the end of the day, it's new to a lot of folks. And when you get this live, real action, 40 deep, 39 deep, whatever the field may be, it's going to get real, man. So at the end of the day, super excited about that coming up, man. We'll get more details on it as we go on. So, hey, man, big question that popped up this week. Brad Keselowski possibly ending it with Penske and moving on over to another team. Roush Fenway Racing offered maybe a spot to drive, and also on top of that, maybe even a little bit of ownership stakes in the company. So, lucrative deal there. We just got to see how all that plays out and what it does for him. At the end of the day, wouldn't surprise me one bit. I mean, this guy definitely makes some tough decisions on the track, as well as business goes. Pretty smart guy, so we'll see what he does, man. See if he sticks it through with Penske, or if he slides on over to that Roush Fenway, and maybe that could be the resurrection of Roush in a big way. So we'll have to see, man, what goes down. But if you guys are watching, man, thank you guys very much for tuning in, as you do every Wednesday, 6 o'clock right here at Coach's Corner, man. If you haven't yet, check us out on YouTube, Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Like, share, follow, subscribe to the channel, all our social media outlets, man. It means a lot to us, man. You guys definitely have a good night, and check that out for sure on the social media, man. So, getting right into it, we're going to go ahead and hit the Dover recap, man. Alex Bowman, the showman, man, goes ahead, gets another win. Multi-time winner this year. Only other guy than Martin Truex Jr. in the series right now. What can I say, man? I mean, he went out, led the pack to that 1, 2, 3, 4 Rick Hendrick finish. Man, Hendrick as a whole combined to lead 382 laps of 400, man. So let that soak in for a minute. That's how dominant of a day that Hendrick Motorsports had there at Dover. Absolutely blew my mind that was the first time this has ever happened coming out of that organization. The 97 Daytona 500 was their only other 1, 2, 3 finish. Gordon, my man, actually won that. But at the end of the day, it had never been a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Hendrick, and he finally got that. And I tell you what, he's creeping up on the all-time win list as an owner as well, man. He's getting there. So at the end of the day, keep an eye out. That could be a record also that he breaks later on in the season, man. So, continuing on with Hendrick's domination, man, Kyle Larson comes up short again, y'all. I mean, this guy dominated this race. Nobody could touch him in that clean air when he was out front. Just what it came down to, honestly, at the end of the day, was the pit stop. They came in on that last pit stop. Alex Bowman's crew set the fastest time for a stop this season so far. Absolutely blew everybody else away. got up there, got the lead, got the choose, got the restart, and was gone. It just seemed like Larson could never quite get to him. So kind of raises the question for me when you look at it, is Kyle Larson, really good at starting these races and just having trouble finishing them? Or is he driving it hard enough in the beginning and the equipment's being used up and has nothing there towards the end for the guy out front? It's just something there again. We got to wait and see what happens, what comes up. We just got to, see if he can continue getting out front, leading these laps, but coming home with those finishes, because we all know not only is it stage points important, but getting those wins are important. And when you look at it, there probably could have been about 3 or 4 races this season that Kyle Larson could have took the checkered flag, and he just came up short, whether it was due to tire wear, running too hard early, bad pit stop, penalty, all the different factors that come into it. But at the end of the day, he's just not quite finishing. So maybe he gets that turned around here coming into these summer months. We'll have to wait and find out. Rough go, man, for Martin Truex Jr. We talked about it on last week's show. This is a guy that you figure when you come into Dover is going to have a really good run, bring some good equipment. Place of his first win there, probably means a lot to him. Very close to, New Jersey, where he's from, I would think. So, hometown track in a way, but got that first win there. So, got to mean a lot. Came up really short this weekend. Struggled, led a few laps, and then just had a very bad day. But to give it to him, JGR pretty much almost as a whole had a bad day. I mean, Denny Hamlin was the best guy coming in inside that top 10. But at the end of the day, everybody else had really bad races, really bad runs. So maybe it was just an off thing, but there again, raise the question, is JGR on the downslide right now, or is it just, one bad race, one bad show? So we'll have to wait and see what they bring this week, and then also in the next couple of weeks to see if they're trending in that down direction, man. But a couple of hard hits for a couple guys as well right there at Dover, man. You had Eric Almirola absolutely annihilated the wall. Kind of a scary moment for him. He had a broken back from a hit that he had a couple years ago, and it took him a while to rehab through that and get back into the race car. When he got out there, he shook. You could tell that was a very hard impact, hurt him a little bit. Just glad that he's okay. Man, just Dover's unforgiving, aggressive, fast. You drive it as hard as you can pretty much almost every lap you're there. And even with those safer barriers, man, the momentum and the G's that you pull there, definitely when you hit that outside wall, you feel it. So just glad to say he's okay, man. But there again, not a great run for the 10 car at Eric Almirola, man. So, we're going to go ahead and get it started, man. What the hell? There's the bucket right there, swear bucket. So every time we swear, I swear on the show, we throw $1 in donation. That goes out to a local charity here this year. Help save one of your own. We're definitely going to get into that in just a little bit. But we got the swear bucket out tonight, y'all. So point standings as of right now, not too much has changed. But a little bit has. So you got Denny Hamlin still leading those regular season points. Mr. Consistency doesn't have those wins yet, but he's still coming home with these good finishes. Had a couple stage wins, that helps. So, there again, if he keeps this up, he's not going to have any problems. Even I think if he's winless, not going to have very many problems, getting in unless we have 16 winners, which that's a possibility as well. So we just got to wait and see. But 2, there's a change right here. William Byron, man, moves up ahead of Martin Truex by a point in the regular season standings. So there again, that tells you a guy that's got 1 win there at Miami compared to a guy that has 3 wins. Just how consistent William Byron's been in the 24 as well. So, that's something to be talked about. You got Martin Truex Jr. there coming in 3rd. Same story, 3 wins on the season. Probably going to have a couple more before it's all said and done. So, got to stay 3 in the standings, obviously, a point, William Byron. So, Logano 4th, Kyle Larson's 5th, man. So that's going to be the top 5 in your points this week. Playoff points, not much has changed there. Martin Truex still leading it. Denny Hamlin right there in 2nd. So, those 2 guys right there are going to start out 1 and 2 in those points as of right now. Got to keep a close eye. Michael McDowell moved into the 16th position. Matt Benedetto is still right there, 17 looking in on the outside of the bubble, 9 points back. You also have Kurt Busch on the outside in 18, outside of that bubble. And that's a big name to be outside of that bubble right now. So, got to keep an eye on that and see if they start getting more consistent, better runs to get them inside that bubble, man. So that leads us in, like I was saying about the swear bucket, checkered flag for charity, y'all. this is one of the most important things to me up here at Coaches, as well as the Rubbin' Grubbin' crew. Man, not only do I get to bring you NASCAR news and do a show right here from Coach's Corner every Wednesday, we get to raise money for a great cause. And this year, we're helping give back to a local charity who gives to everybody else. So they've helped us in numerous fundraisers that we've done over the years here at Coaches. Two big ones, Randy Davis and Becca Spear. They definitely had a big part in helping raise as much as we could for those two families, for their causes. So this year we decided as a crew here at Coaches, we're going to help save one of our own by helping them help y'all. So at the end of the day, what we do is whatever car number wins that race, we donate that into the Checkered Flag for Charity, as we like to call it. This all goes to help save one of your own. So you had Alex, the Showman Bowman, winning it there last week. $48 right here from the Rubbin' Grubbin' crew, guys up here at Coaches, man. Giving that donation in. Like I said, anytime you guys come by here and you want to give a donation to a charity or any cause that John and Adele or the Coaches family has going on up here, just let your server know, let your bartender know, let anybody here employed know, hey man, I just want to make a donation. It doesn't matter if it's hundreds, nickels, hundreds, 10s, 20s, nickels, pennies, dimes, does not matter to any of us, man. Just make sure you guys come out, spread the love, show the love for the local community. Like I said, it all stays right here local and goes to a great cause, man. So definitely anytime you guys want to come up, feel free to donate. Thanks a lot, and help us help save one of our own, y'all. So man, that brings us into one of my favorite segments of the show, where we talk about who's hot and who's not, right? So we got some guys that always trend up, and there's always some teams that trend down, and then there's some guys that are kind of in the middle, man. So this week's going to be a little bit of a mixed array. I've got more positives this week of going who's hot than I do on the who's not. So just a few things to talk about, man. So starting it out, who's hot? Kyle Larson in particular is extremely hot, leading the laps, man. Absolutely dominating races. Not quite getting those wins, but when you show up every week and you got a race car capable of doing what he's done, leading as many laps as he has through this season, it's only a matter of time before those wins start coming. But with that being said, man, Hendrick Motorsports as a whole, 1, 2, 3, 4 finished last week, as we said numerous times. All these cars are running strong, consistent. It hurts me to say that my guy, Mr. Chase Elliott, is the one lone Hendrick guy, driver out there without a win. I definitely have a feeling that's going to change here in the very, 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 very near future. We're going to get into that a little bit later on as well. But, man, he's got to get that win, lock it down. We've got Team Penske. All three of those guys have wins. JGR's right there in the hunt. Denny needs to get that win. Hendricks needs to go ahead and lock down all four with their wins, man. Let's just go ahead and get those big guys out of the way, and we'll see what else happens. But as a whole, Hendrick Motorsports is absolutely an inferno right now, on fire at the top, man. So if you've watched over the past, say, month, 6 episodes, 5 episodes, man, I've been on a tear about this guy that I've got on a hot streak, and that's Daniel Suarez, man, at Trackhouse Racing. I've been talking about it for numerous weeks. Dark horse picks, man. There he is at Dover. Has an amazing run inside that top 10, man. Love his fire. Love evidently what the development aspect this team has put in and the money that these owners have put in to make them competitive. They're not, I would call a tier, but man, I tell you what, for the first season operating with this guy, operating as that team, under that ownership, doing big things at Trackhouse, they are surprising me big time, man. Like I said, that guy is turning in the right direction. Top 10 finishes in numerous races. Loved his fire at the end of the race. He said, hey, man, I want a trophy. Top 10's great. He goes, we got a lot of improvement. We got to keep improving. Top 10's great, but I want a trophy. Love that hunger from Daniel Suarez, man. So there again, another guy on the hot list, man. To me, can't talk enough about Denny Hamlin. As I say all the time, Mr. Consistency so far this season. Doesn't have those wins, but is absolutely going out, showing up every week and having good runs. Maybe not up front contending every single race, but at the end of the day, man, he is laying down some laps, logging some laps, getting some stage wins, getting much needed points to advance in those playoffs, as we know. And like I said, he's consistent. That's why he's leading regular season ahead of a guy with 3 wins, man. So put that in perspective for a minute and let it sink in, but definitely on fire, man. So there again, as I said, that'll wrap it up for who's hot, man. Getting right into who's not. I'm not going to be the first one to say it, but minus Denny Hamlin, after the showing at Dover, man, could JGR be on a downward slope, right? Could JGR possibly be that team that is just, hit on a little bit of a pinnacle? They got the wins, but they're just not quite hitting on all cylinders. You had Kyle Busch finishing really horrible, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr., all having horrible runs at Dover. Did not, contend. Some had some trouble here and there, but at the end of the day, not what you would expect from JGR at a track like that and what you've seen in years past. So to me, cooling off a little bit, coming into a wild card race this weekend where a driver they have has, some experience there, Martin Truex. If you read it today, he said, hey, first time I actually got on this track, I watched a 5-minute video of some guys going around it, and he goes, I thought it was pretty simple, and when I got there, it wasn't. So that's coming from a champion, great road course racer. So might have another struggle week this week. If they do, I'll give that one to them. But if they come back after Circuits of America and have a bad run, man, I'm telling you, that's got to be a turning direction cooling off, man. Eric Almirola, I said it last week, I'm still on it, man. I hated it for him there. Dover has been a pretty decent track for him in years past. He's had some good runs there. There again, Heartbreak City, man, blows the right front or suspension brakes. He said he didn't feel like it went flat, didn't feel like it blew, like something in the suspension broke. So with that being said, to go out and just absolutely annihilate the wall, he did. Like I said, just glad he's okay. But if he doesn't get things turned around, man, I have a feeling that this might be his last season over there at Stewart-Haas Racing. I'll put it out there. I don't mean any bad juju. I really hope that he gets it turned around and starts getting consistency and getting these finishes. But for right now, he is not doing good. So he's got to get it together, or he's definitely going to be looking for a job as far as I'm concerned, man. That's as far as I know. So, hey, man, just want to give a big shout-out out there to our main sponsor here at Rubbin' and Grubbin', man, Arbor Man Tree Service, my buddy Parker Eccles, man, over there, owner-operator, doing his thing. I say it all the time, man, does a lot for us, does a lot for the community, and hey, man, if you ever need anything, an estimate on some branches getting cut back, grinding, tree removal, anything at all, man, make sure you give Parker a call. He'd be more than willing to help you guys out. It's Arbor Man Tree Service again. Like I always say, no job too big, too small, no tree too tall. Give Parker a call, man. Just make sure you give him a call if you need anything with that, man. But thanks, buddy, for everything you do for us, man. Greatly appreciate it, brother. All right. So hope you guys are still tuned in, man, having a great time out there. Still got a lot of things to cover here. Getting ready to get into this week's race at Circuits of America. Going to be interesting. Got a lot of talking points to hit real quick, and just kind of get it landed the law and laid out. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be mayhem, and this is a perfect setting for, there again, first-time winner this season. So we're setting it right there. But yeah, moving into it, man. So you had Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Chase Elliott got to go do a tire test there on Tuesday yesterday. A lot of good feedback from a couple of those drivers. Didn't hear much from Chase Elliott, which I kind of like. I think that's kind of a smart move on his part not to put his input as far as what he sees or what he feels, being one of the best out there doing this right now. But, Brad Keselowski and Martin Truex Jr. were both amazed at not only the width on some parts of this track, but the speed zones down to brake zones into corners and the elevation. This is going to be very interesting. With the iRacing format and the simulation that these guys do nowadays, you can sit in that seat and kind of get at least a feel of the track layout. But I feel like until you're in the real thing going and there's 40 cars around you and you're all racing into that first turn, you don't know what you have. So going to be interesting to watch this on Sunday unfold from the initial green flag to any time that there's a restart. And I think there might even be a little bit of pit strategy involved in this last stage, depending on cautions, wrong and right. So this is definitely setting the stage for excitement. NASCAR said it at the beginning of the season, man, could be the best year ever right here. It has not failed to disappoint in my eyes yet this season. So as long as it stays up and the racing's good the way it has been, I think it's going to be an awesome year, man. So biggest question that I've got for you guys out there is going into this road course, as we know, most right-hand turns we've ever made in NASCAR history right here this season. Is it too much, or is it enough to shake the field? We've talked about this on shows past. My personal opinion on it is NASCAR to me is a lot of left-hand turns. That's just me. I don't mind, let's say, 4 road courses. I don't mind that. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of the dirt Bristol race. I liked it. I thought it was exciting. But I like the traditional Bristol. That's just me. If we're going to do a dirt or we're going to throw a road course for nobody's race, let's do it for an all-star race. Let's do it for, some money. No points, no wins, no nothing like that, but just cold, hard cash, man. I think that's just as good as if you don't, or if you throw it in the schedule. But 6 this year, to me, that's just a little bit too much, but we'll see how it all plays out. But I'd love to get your guys' feedback, man. Throw a comment on here. Throw a comment here later on when it's posted on YouTube or on a social media, man. Be amazing. But, with that being said, an oddity, only the second time we're going to have this yet this season. You got qualifying and practice coming up. So, not only that, man, it's a rare feat nowadays, as we all know, with the COVID and everything that happened last year and so far into this season, no qualifying, no practice, which definitely cut costs and helped teams, I'm sure. But to me, at least one practice and qualifying is necessary. It just makes the experience of the fan that much better. Not only that, track position, especially with this, it seems like some of the generation maybe of the next car we're getting into, track position's everything, clean air has been everything. So getting that good starting position based off of having a fast car compared to starting in the back pays dividends. So definitely something I hope that we get back to as NASCAR fans, getting back to qualifying and back to practice. Maybe not all the practices. I wasn't so much a fan of like 4 hours of practice, but I say an hour and a half practice, one practice, call it good, and then it's qualifying. But hopefully we get back to that, man. That's going to be cool. But you got the Circuits of America, man, 3.41 miles in length. You got elevation changes. You got pin, a turn they call the keyhole there. It's just like an absolutely dead stop, turn. Like I said, man, wide in the front where you can go 5-6 wide, and run down the straights, and then you get into a turn that narrows down. So there's going to bottleneck. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be some issues. There's going to be carnage, man. We're going to see how many guys actually, finish it up. But I can tell you the initial start to that race on the green flag, I will definitely have my eyes on it because it is going to be quite interesting, man. So, there again, getting into those top 5 picks of the night. Man, I never fail when it comes to a road course. I say it all the time. I told you I was going to talk about it. I've been off of it for a few weeks, but I'm back on it for the Circuits of America, man. Chase Elliott is going to go out, and he's going to win this race right here. Chase Elliott is going to win Sunday, Circuits of the Americas, 68 lap. Chase Elliott, the 9 car, coming in first, man. I'm calling my shot. I'm done playing around. I said before the 14th race of the season, we were getting down to the nitty-gritty. If he's going to do it, it's going to happen this weekend. So it's happening. You heard it here first. Absolutely dominating road courses as of late. Had a really good shot at the Daytona road course earlier in the season. Came up a little bit short there to Christopher Bell. A little different calls. Hey, man, things happen. But at the end of the day, if I got to put my money on him, I'm taking Chase Elliott hands down, man. 2, no surprise, Martin Truex Jr. Other than Chase Elliott, the other guy that's been owning the road course races, man, forever. Like I said, veteran of the sport, does a lot of good things, on that track. Taught himself a lot of road course skills, learned from some of the best veterans watching him for years, but has surprisingly come around and been a better road course racer, man, than what you would expect. So Martin Truex Jr. coming in second. Third for me, man, another young guy right here. Got some talent, got a win on a road course earlier in the year, and it's going to be Christopher Bell. Now, I know when we're talking about the Daytona road course, we're kind of talking about the same thing as Charlotte, like a roval aspect. This is going to be an actual true road course test, a lot longer in strength, not as easy, basic, a lot more driver skills and driver error capable of happening. Uphill elevations again and shifting gears to downhill turns. It takes a lot, different braking, different things. So we're going to see if he can man up and do it, but I got to feel good about him. Going to be a little bit of a weird top 5, y'all, for sure. 4, got to be Mr. Denny Hamlin himself. Doesn't necessarily have the career wins on those road courses to show how good of runs he's had on some of them at times. So another guy hunting for that first win. Right strategy, good car, could possibly go and get it done, man. At Circuits of the Americas. Just got to wait and see what happens, but expect the 11 to have a good run as well. Rounding it out right there, got to be Brad Keselowski. There again, as I said, 3 drivers, got some tire test time on the track, got a feel for what it's actually going to feel like inside of not necessarily their race car, but that style of race car. Got a lot more feedback than a lot of guys out there. Keselowski there again. Has some good runs on some road courses. We'll see if he can have another one here Sunday. But he comes in bringing out the top 5. Dark horses. All right, man. 2 dark horse picks right here. I said it. He's on the upward trend. He's hot. Daniel Suarez right here, man. I feel like if you go in, road courses are not only about some of the equipment you bring, but it also, as I say all the time, equals out the playing field. Bring those guys into your playing field. The driver has more hands-on the car, how it handles, braking points, just is able to manage the car and manhandle the car better than a typical go fast, turn left, brake, gas type thing. So skills definitely come out. I think Daniel Suarez has them. I think he's really good at doing it. He's hot, got those finish streaks going, man. So look for that 99. Another guy, 34 of Michael McDowell, man. Always seems to have pretty good road course finishes, man. Runs pretty decent there. Capable of keeping his car in good shape. As long as he manages that race well, stays out of the trouble, does his thing, no reason why he shouldn't be coming home as well with a really good finish, man. So, as we say all the time, man, it's rubbing and grubbing. We're moving right on into the grubbing aspect of it. Man, we got a little treat I like here at Coach's a lot of the times. We got them coming up. So, anyways, we got fried pickles coming tonight, man. Coming right up here right now. Yeah, one of my little favorites at Coach's. One of my wife's favorites as well. She loves them. Absolutely amazing. All right.
There you go.
Thank you, man.
You're so welcome.
So we got the fried pickle chips. We got the secret. We got the secret sauce, the Bang Bang sauce, which I like. Amazing every time.
Ranch.
Thank you, man.
You're
Got some
welcome.
ranch on the side as well. Hey, like we say all the time, if you guys are looking for cold drinks, good food, man, swing by Coach's right here in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Man, I tell you what, they got any sport imaginable you could possibly think of on the screens around the house. Great time for the family. Definitely advise coming out and checking them out, man. Hey, want to give a big shout out and thanks, man, to all the shows out there. You know, Coach Carl DeMasi, AD Chad Griffin, man, they're doing it every week, giving it to you live, local sports, their feedback, man. Great advice from a couple great coaches, man. Definitely make sure you stay tuned and check that out. Hot Grits Podcast, Travis and Spencer, man, they're still doing their thing over there. Definitely another good show. Coach DeMasi, such a busy man. He's also got another show that he does, Who's on First Base. Kyle Lawson right there helping him out, man. Talking Savannah, banana baseball, talking those Braves, talking all kinds of things you need to know about baseball and, what's going on that side of the baseline. But, hey, man, as we say all the time, thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. Make sure you check us out every Wednesday right here at Coach's Corner, 6 o'clock, rubbing and grubbing, man. Big shout out to Green White Checkered ESPN 104.3 as well. PJ Zuko and myself every Sunday morning, 9:30, man. Great show. If you hadn't checked it out, highly recommend it. 104.3. As I always say, hope y'all have a great night out there. Make sure you stay safe. And hey, y'all, we're almost done with this. We're getting on to the end of this, man. I'm gonna be retiring this pretty soon, so I only get to do it a couple more times, man. And all we got to do, and Lawrence is gonna get it to me right here coming up. Make sure you guys just wash your hands, man. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.